Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over uranium, do our daily technical analysis update, see if we got any broken uptrends or anything that we have to worry about for a pullback. Let's find out. Maybe we got some stick saves going on. I can show you what that looks like, where it goes and breaks down, but then pops back up. The buyers pop it back up. So there's things in the charts that I see that are positive. There's things in the charts that could potentially look a little bit negative. So let's take a look. Either way, I'm not selling anything. The valuations are good. If we get a pullback, remember, it's a win for me. I'm going to buy more. If we go and break to the upside, well, that's a win too. I already own it, and I'm in these companies. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Let's dive in here, and I'll give you what my opinion is for uranium. So here's the physical price. I think it's delayed by a day. It's trading economics, I think. Chopping sideways back and forth. Everything looks okay. Nothing's broken. Nothing's looking too horrible. I don't know what today brought us, but it's all intact. Looking at URNM on a weekly candlestick basis. I'm going to say, guys, the resistance is strong. Oh, yeah, that was the intercom saying that the resistance was strong here. We are still up against resistance. We've got the higher lows coming right into it. So everything's still okay. I don't see a huge pullback yet. So everything's intact. Now let's look at the dailies. Let's see what the dailies are bringing us. All right, so here's the dailies. We got this line coming through. We broke up. We pulled back. This could be our retest today. It could be the retest. Let's see what tomorrow has in store. Do we break to the upside or do we break down? Now, if we break down, we've got a support line underneath here, right underneath it. So we got to see if this support line holds. If we break it to the downside, might have a little downward sell-off. So will this hold? Let's find out tomorrow. This is going to be the fun one here. And here's CCJ. We've got this ascending wedge pattern. Ascending wedges usually break to the downside. We have not broken to the upside here. We did pull back with some decent momentum. Which way is this going to break? We're going to have to find out. But usually these break to the downside and have a pullback. Next Gen Energy, big strong sell-off day today, lots of momentum. We are in this ascending wedge triangle, or what I should say ascending wedge pattern, where this could break to the downside and have a little bit of a pullback. We could pull back in this region down here. And here's fission. And what I call this is a stick save. What happens is we've got the pattern. We go and we come out of the pattern. It starts dancing and it comes right back into the pattern, which is on the line of this pattern. So I call it a stick save. That's what a stick save is. I tried breaking out of the pattern and we saved it. Now, here's some negative stuff in terms of potential pullback. This is a bearish engulfing pattern. We came up into this. The buyers could not push this higher out of the pattern. They tried pushing it out of the pattern today, and it sold off throughout the day quite strongly at a 9.7%. So this could, high likelihood, pull back here for Sky Harbor. CanAlaska is already starting to pull back a little bit. We are still within the pattern, though. This is another stick save type move, but it's looking a little bit weaker. And Standard Uranium broke to the downside. I think they released some results. Cutting through that support line like a hot sword through butter. Boom, right, cut right through it. So we might see this pullback, or maybe this is the extent of the pullback. We'll see. Baseload selling off. I think they raised some money today, and usually when I see someone raise money, they may be raising money because they're going to release good news soon, hopefully. Sometimes they release it and then they put out news where it'll push it back up because usually they raise money before they're going to do more drilling if they found something. Speculation, yes. We'll see what happens. Fission 3.0, a little bit of a downward move, but it's pretty weak, pretty benign. It opened lower and closed up with the momentum coming up a little bit. Not too bad, considering what I've seen in the rest of the sector. Pierpoint, again, just like the other uranium exploration companies up in Canada, we could see a pullback here. It's a bearish engulfing. But keep in mind, these smaller companies can throw a false signal sometimes. Like this one right here is a false signal. Forum Energy Metals, big sell-off. We fought up. I think this could take some time to pull back and kind of consolidate here. A little bit of room for some consolidation, I think. Another stick save over at UEXCF. We sold off, but the buyers pushed it back up right to its support line. Will this fall down or go up? Tomorrow will give us the answer. Asian Court is coming on up. It's still, everything looks okay. Nothing's broken for this move. UU, a little bit of a sell-off today, but it's no topping pattern. At least it's not a bearish engulfing or bearish piercing or anything like that. But, we could see a little bit of selling pressure. The overall sector seeing it. This is a bearish engulfing. We could see a little bit of a pullback in UEC. Support lines underneath it down here. URG, a little bit of a sell-off today. I mean, it didn't finish super strong, but it also didn't finish weak. I would say we could see a pullback just like the rest of the sector. Is this me, Roy? No, it's you, Roy. It is coming up into this corner here. It is kind of an ascending wedge pattern. We could break to the downside. Let's see what tomorrow has in store. I'm waiting to see the confirmation here. This one's still in its pattern. We have a kind of it's right in the middle of it. Again, we got to wait and see. Bannerman still holding on. Doesn't look too bad with this downward move and ended up. Momentum's coming up, even though it was a down day. Deep yellow, we're still in the pattern. Everything looks good. Doesn't look too bad. And Forces Metals, again, we're still above this trend line. Everything's holding on. Everything's intact until it's not. So we'll have to wait and see what tomorrow is. Another stick save at Goviax. We came on down and got bought back up. So everything's still intact. We're still intact for Goviax. Global Atomic, we're getting close here to a move to the downside if it breaks. We're kind of still all just flailing around inside the pattern here. Paladin Energy, we're okay. We're still above this downtrend line. Everything's intact. Looking at Kier's looking a little bit weaker. We got bearish engulfings all through here. Let's see if this trend line can hold underneath it. It's very similar to all the other patterns. Kazatomprom looks good. Small little down day, nothing to really worry about here. Here's Peninsula Energy. Again, we've got the trend line still holding. It's still all intact right now. Nothing's broke. And Boss Energy, I mean, I can say that there's a lot of resistance up here. The buyers aren't just pushing it forward. So they're leaving the door open for the sellers to sell this off if the buyers can't push it up. It's open there. ISO Energy, a little bit of a sell-off today, but I wouldn't say it's too much to worry about because there's no pattern there, no topping pattern, so it still looks okay. Lyramide, just a regular sell-off day, nothing too bad. Not much of a downtrend or uptrend really on this one. It's kind of just all over the place. Lotus Resources, uptrend still intact. Everything looks okay. Kind of a bearish engulfing. It's kind of tough. We got a bullish engulfing right here too. Buyers are dueling it out. Another stick save at Western Uranium and Vanadium Corp. Right at the lower support line here. It came down and came back up. It is a bearish engulfing, so we could potentially head lower if the buyers cease to step in here. Here's centrist Energy. It looks okay. Kind of tough one to read here. I don't really have too much to comment on it. And then here's Lightbridge. It opened up and sold off throughout the day. I mean, so did this day too. So we might have a little bit of a pullback before heading higher. But that one's definitely got a short squeeze going on. So come back in here. So overall, some of them don't look that great in uranium. We could see the pullback. Other ones, a lot of them are still in their patterns. And they had stick saves where the buyers came in and pushed it back up. Overall, URNM doesn't look horrible, doesn't look great. Which way is this thing going to break? I can't tell you. We're right there, kind of right in the tip of a lot of these patterns. And they're ascending wedge patterns. Usually that means a pullback. You know, a lot of people thought we were going to move to the upside here, and we could still move to the upside. Let's see what the rest of this week has in store for us, because we're at very strong resistance across the board. We come up into that resistance, and it just smacks us back down. We may come back up in that resistance again to see and test it. It's just we're testing the sellers at this price point, and the price point has held. It is a stubborn price point where we go up and we hit it in most of these stocks, and it sells back off. Hit it, sells back off. Hit it, sells back off. It's a very strong resistance line. So be patient. Patience and holding on is what makes you money. And if we pull back here, don't be afraid. Don't worry about it. We've got the valuations that are back. We've got the market conditions which look good. Everything looks good on a medium to long-term basis. This will just be a short-term pullback in a big bull market, if we get one. And I don't know how big this pullback will necessarily be. We may be right up on resistance for a while. So we may not get a huge pullback. We'll see what happens. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.